And again, hello everyone. We're back with some more Ori and the Blind Forest, and this race is going to be number 19 Brynhold versus number 34 Grimelios. I'm against Sparek, and I'm joined on commentary today by Pugel. Hello Pugel, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sparek. I'm excited for this matchup because, as everyone has been hearing about memeing ways, Grim wants to face Terra, and he can't do that unless he gets through Brynhold first.
Yeah, he can't do that, and Brynhold is certainly a pretty terrifying opponent here. And Grimelios actually said that he expects to lose here, but he really wants to win, so he might again go for some very ballsy strats here, which has been going pretty well for him so far.
He did say he was going to be treating this like a PB attempt, so which is the only way he said he might be able to pull out against Brynhold.
Yeah, Grimelios' sum of best is better than Brynhold's, better than Brynhold's PB, not better than his sum of best. So he's potentially able to beat him. And also, you never know how much spaghetti your opponent will have in a race. But as we are looking here at the stats, that graph is actually pretty similar for both of them. But the best race time for Brynhold is a 32, a flat 32, and his PB is a flat 32. So he just got that in a race, which is pretty amazing. Also, that's a very solid time. Whereas Grim is currently on a PB of 33.24. That's also pretty good, especially when looking at an average race time from Brynhold. I mean, it is possible for him to win this race. It's not like it's not possible for Grim to win this race, but it certainly will be tough.
Well, Grim also does have the current history of being able to, as you see in the miscellaneous, upset the Vikings. So can he upset the Upset King is now the question.
We will have to wait and see. Grim is definitely planning for some more upsets should he be able to take this victory here when he's then going to face Terra.
Absolutely. Now, an interesting thing about Grim is that he doesn't have any rebindings on his controller aside from the hide UI toggle. So all the stomp cancels you're going to see, all the rock jumps, those are all manual from him. And against a keyboard mouse player, that's really something to see.
Yeah, he doesn't go for these bindings. That would actually be a pretty interesting interview question if we remembered why he does that. But I mean, it certainly is amazing to watch stomp cancels and knowing that someone is doing them with default binds. Brynhold is on keyboard mouse, which is generally considered a little bit easier in the category like all skills. That doesn't matter too much because we basically got backup strats on most of the tricks to be able to do them on controller in basically the same amount of time. But yeah, I mean, there are different input methods, and sometimes controller is a little bit more tough. That's just fact.
Especially when sometimes you have the mouse angle that you can just kind of sit and hold. Meanwhile, controller, you have to actually kind of move the analog stick in a weird position.
Yeah, something like that. And it looks like we're starting off here pretty soon. Both of them are readying up for the race, and they're gone. Brynhold started a little bit earlier, just, I don't know, like half a second or something. So not taking a huge lead here, both of them skipping the product pretty fast and didn't soft lock. And we're into Glades now.
Oh no, I can't see Brynhold at all.
Yeah, that's not a great color for this blue background here.
Oh, that color's horrible. Now, the color code doesn't really do anything, like, aside from cosmetics, so it's not influencing any of the game actions being taken, except in this circumstance, where you're the exact same color as the background, and it's awful.
Especially for the commentators, you have to see what you're doing. But let's not fight about this color here, and instead focus more on this race.
Well, we'll be able to see him as soon as he picks up Sign, because then I'll have Sign following him, at least.
Yeah, then just watch Sign, no problem at all. I mean, his color code will change after this first save anywhere, I think. So, but then he might get the green or so. Well, I don't know what color will we have to see then. Let's hope he doesn't troll us with this color here. And the first difference that we're seeing here is actually doesn't look like too much of a difference. I don't know if Brynhold is going for scrolling shooting actually, because Yeah, he is. Okay, he was a little slow on some of that mashing there, so I was a bit confused.
That is one of the few differences between the controller methods, well, controller inputs, whether it's controller or keyboard mouse. The scroll wheel shooting is a little faster, which
Yes,
does provide some advantages when it comes to certain areas, such as early game shooting of things.
yeah, there are some stretches many controller runners didn't go for, like genocides, time genocide, but some controller runners actually chose to do that now because we found out that it's not actually impossible on controller and it's not even that much harder on controller because while you are mashing out these shots faster on on the scroll wheel, the mashing on controller can still be pretty fast. And when you mashing before you're getting to an enemy, that enemy will be dead before you finished your mashing. So not too much of a difference. But yeah, let's focus more on this race here. Both of them going for the same 4 HP stat here. No LOG mini this time. Or Poogle, for that matter.
Well, it is really nice getting the 4th HP because then you end up filling back up and those slimes aren't as much of a horrible troll. But my bad decision aside, both our runners did choose to go for the much safer option of taking the Glade's health cell, which also means they can damage through those bramble wall, because if you don't, well, you don't have enough HP to actually do it. Looks like Grim's gonna level on the way back up, as Brynhold's gonna take his level on the way down.
Yeah, so Brynhold is confident that his XP will be set up correctly. I think he's not going for genocide here because when doing genocide, it's a lot easier to set up your XP correctly by leveling up way back out. But when you're just going for the orb method, it's basically not a big deal. You just give 3 slimes instead of 2, and then you're good as well. So
Yeah, it also depends on whether or not a player is going to go for either Quick Flame, Magnet, or Rekindle. Now, normally if you're 36 experience or less, which often happens when you take this level up on the way up, you'll go for Rekindle. But you need to go for Magnets if you're doing that, and it looks like Grim's getting a bit trolled by the Trojan log.
the Trojan rock thing. But yeah.
The object that we have named after Trojan for the sake of it spiting us and him on multiple occasions.
Exactly. Grim, though, even though he missed his Trojan lock there one time, isn't really far behind. He actually, I think, because he's doing some neutral jumps, that Bryn isn't caught up there by some frames. Pretty hard to spot. But yeah, as expected, Bryn skips this XP, so he's not doing genocide. And Grim won't either. Has to give some more brambles here. Yeah, both experience look pretty good. Grim should probably not do Magnet here, because 3 slimes will level him up.
And he is going for the Rekindle. Meanwhile, Brynhold's at 42 experience going in here, so him taking Magnet and killing 3 slimes will do him just fine.
Blackfruit Burrows, Poogle. How do you feel about Blackfruit Burrows?
I've considered starting taking the Glade's health cell just to damage boost through this particular spike pit, because this place is awful.
Yeah, sometimes when a jump gets eaten, or you feel like a jump gets eaten because we can buffer jumps in this game and you just fall into the spike pit, it's so horrible. Yeah, both of our runners choosing to safety save to prevent the major time loss that come with it.
Yeah, because most of the spikes in this area do 1 damage, except for those big red spikes, which do 3 damage. Because you get hit by those and you die horribly.
That's a little random, but thanks game, I guess. Bryn is pretty good on that cycle. Grim has to wait a little bit. He might opt for the reload here. I think he hasn't reloaded yet.
No, he's not gonna.
And thus he misses the cycle.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna both have to wait in the same cycle, just a few seconds apart.
Oh, they are pretty synced. I mean, just one platform that's like, what, 4 seconds? So I would say casual early game for both of them. Pretty decent early game. No death, no major time loss. Maybe one cycle.
I think you were right in saying it was about half a cycle, so it's a 3-4 second difference at the moment. Brynhold getting that cycle manipulation, as does Grim.
Ooh, pretty close.
Very
for Grim,
close. Does get it.
And the last thing that can potentially ruin your day is this platform and this laser, which Bryn manages to get through. Grim also. Bryn, that's going to be pretty tough to differentiate.
Yeah. So, Brynhold has managed to set up his experience just fine. Grim as well. Grim has a little less experience, but still well within the 19 threshold that he needs for Frankie Walk.
Yeah, since neither of these runners is going for the charge flame or went for the charge flame, we won't see that pretty tough upset that we've seen in the last race. And also we don't see the cut stack here. Again, only says 2 seconds. It's in a race situation, it's probably not really what matters with the times that these both runners have. Not to say that they are good times, but they are certainly no times where you need the 2 seconds.
Grim taking a damage from the slime.
He should still be on 2 HP here. Yeah, he is. So
True, but he's got to make sure that he doesn't end up accidentally jumping into the damage. These spikes that can deal 2 damage instead of 1, because otherwise he is gonna die.
yeah, I think he where to go. So yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looked like he was well aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, Grim has run this game quite a lot. He knows all the backup strats, I'd say, and gets a pretty nice funky walk. Bryn gets the safety energy drop here.
And yet continues the
Exactly.
left-hand side will get the energy, and the right-hand side will not.
Yeah, always those favorite things. How many times did we have that last night? I don't know.
All of
For
them.
me, it was last night.
Yesterday, every single match that occurred had the left-hand side get the energy drop.
Every single match. Wow. Okay. So we're off to a good start here, already at 50%. But let's look at Brynhold's what's it called? Early grotto cycle. Doesn't get it.
And
Jumped a little too low.
Grim does not go for this track because it's not something he's practiced, so he is deliberately going to wait.
Yeah, also he mentioned in his stats that he gave us before the race that he is scared of the potential run frame there. Would he have attempted it? And yeah, since he really wants to win that race, I think major early game death would really mess with your nerves, so he's not going for it. And he's managing to keep pace with Brynhold pretty...
Oh, speaking of early game deaths, that is
I mean,
certainly not the worst death that you can have right here. And he is going to go on the left wall coming down, so definitely salvageable, but putting a little bit more time between himself and Brynhold that he really doesn't want to happen.
he didn't want that to happen. I did like his backup strat there. Oh, Bryn gets through. Okay. Takes a little safer approach there. I did like the backup for him that he didn't try to do this trick again once it failed. I think that's a pretty reasonable idea because if you fail a trick once, you might fail it twice, and oh boy, that can mess up your nerves. But let's see how Bryn does on Grotto Skip here. And he gets it first try.
He's through quite nicely. Grim coming up to the same trick, choosing to set it up from the side of the platform and takes that success rate and just says, you know what, no, I want to win today. I'm going to get this first try.
Oh, with those fake stats. But yeah, I mean, that was a pretty quick Grotto Skip for Grim, so saving a little bit of time here, and this section is pretty famous for having very much time save for you, potential time save, I say, because so we've said in last race and said about in many races, that split is really hard to optimize, and you can use a lot of seconds here and there, and you don't really notice it.
Yeah.
So we have to see how the delta will look after this segment. Oh, Bryn takes a takes a damage here through the slime. Doesn't kill him, but I think that puts him on 2 HP here, and he immediately saves to get that rekindle. Pretty good idea.
Considering that they're gonna get a level up at this 100 experience where they're coming up to anyway, it's a pretty decent idea. Just in case that little bit of extra safety helps. Now,
Yeah,
Gandalf being not nice to either of our runners.
Those 3 safety saves are always something that you should take. It's also nice to see where you can take those saves if you're probably not too familiar with the route.
Yeah, each runner having their own flavor of where they like to put the safety saves is always something pretty cool to see.
Grim went for the left flower there. That's going to lose him just a little bit of time, but it's a lot safer to actually get enough height to go up to the ability cell there.
Looked like he was more comfortable with that too. Looks like his movement was a little more fluid with that in mind, so it looks like something he might do more often.
These are some really nice Enter-Ginzo paces here. Brynhold will have 1240 something. Oh, did Grim get that? We can look pretty.
He did.
Ah, he did. Okay.
Oh, that looked really, really spooky there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was if I just didn't look correctly there, but it looked pretty far away from me. But he's fine, and also pretty much tying his best Enter-Ginzo split here, so he's on a really good pace for himself, as is Bryn though. So really, a death from Bryn can tie this up again. Otherwise, if both runners just keep performing like they do now, it's going to be a pretty close race. Yeah, getting the early Gima cycles here. I think both of them got them. Grim got them at least. I didn't look too closely at Bryn there.
Grim did get it as well. He's gonna be heading through this room into the puzzle room directly on Brynhold's heels, mind you. They are very, very close.
Yeah, like one shot apart. Brynhold is giving us another color code. This time we can see Ori very well, I think. Probably he doesn't, so he doesn't keep that color code for too long, because in swamp entry there can be some breakdown there, but yeah. Get the boss.
See how the scroll wheel. Brynhold does look like he's doing scroll wheel. I could be wrong on that, but it appears as such. His mini boss is gonna go slightly faster than Grim's.
Ah, barely misses a cycle there. I think he barely missed his 5 cycle there, so this should be a 6 cycle.
Or, wow, I take that back. They basically killed the mini boss at the same time.
Yeah, I think they both got the 6 cycle there, so even though Bryn was just one shot off there, that was pretty close for him. And this movement really clean.
Yeah, Grim looks like he really wants this.
Both of them really want this, of course, but Grim really wants this. I don't know how to face this else, but yeah, look at that. Bryn just got a 14-15 dash. Bryn again. Have to be pretty careful how to pronounce that.
Oh gosh, hopefully both of them get a decent key dupe, because that's really one of the only things I could see right now is being a problem for them.
Yeah, there are many potential tricks, but we don't hope that anything goes in the wrong direction here. And both of these runners are pretty experienced, so not really expecting something to go wrong. Yeah, okay, Grim just missed the keys, so they're not too big of a deal. Basically, 6 them. What? Oh, alright. I didn't know that setup.
Grim's setup is where he likes to dash to the left. So that is gonna put him back behind ever so slightly.
Yeah, because he didn't get the dash the first time there. I was pretty scared. I thought he maybe thought that he already got the keys in there. I don't know. like that dash. I thought he was going to do that dash, and oh boy, this would have been not nice to watch. But yeah, Bryn just took the lead again there by having a slightly smoother key dupe, but it's still very close. And these paces Very nice.
And Grim getting on the teleporter. Just as Brynhold is not even fully done with the animation, I'm getting word from the truck it's about a 7-second delta between the two runners.
Yeah, 7-second Jedi pretty much looks like that. That's the kind of difference we're seeing here. And Bryn is opting to watch that cutscene. He has to remember that there will be lasers. Grim is also watching the cutscene. So since both of them intentionally watched that cutscene, I think they are pretty used to having the lasers on the way back out, so they will remember them.
Now, Grim, I know for a fact, does like to have that cutscene play out because he much prefers to get that safety save.
Bryn is opting for the swamp entry double bash method here. Gets it first try, will pick up this ability cell on the way back out. And Grim is on his swamp entry, just the controller method, gets it also first try. And immediately saves, doesn't want to get choked by this rhino here.
Oh, I feel that. Brynhold going for the hyperspeed through the door. And Grim's gonna take another save right after the door opening. So just in case something goes wrong, he falls in spikes, he gets shot by the thing. Everything will work out.
Yeah, the delta should still be pretty much the same as it was before, since both of them managed to get a pretty tough trick first try here. The next tough trick is a little in the future. He just casually leaves swamp now. Yep, also stomping down. Doesn't drop into the water, that would be a... Whoa, whoa! Okay, he's fine. I almost thought I cursed him there. Please, Grim, you're doing so great. Don't let yourself be cursed by me.
Now, each of our runners need to take this magical frog by the name of Ringo. Grim going for that extra dash there. Hopefully the lasers don't kill them, and then they're going to head to the Kuro cutscene skip, which I don't think exists, because there's no cutscene to skip. As Brynhold blatantly shows that I am just wrong, and that there is no cutscene. And Grim does it too, so I don't think the cutscene exists.
Yeah, we just do the movement because swag. There's no reason to do it.
Now, Grim is going to take a slight lead here because Brynhold is going for that extra health.
Wow, that was a pretty scary setup there by Grim, but of course he doesn't have access to the double bash method that most keyboard mouse runners probably do there to get that nice spider shot. But Grim just showing that you can be executing some nice backup strats on controller as well.
Oh my gosh, I even think the Delta's closer for them at this point. Brynhold's gonna start his save anywhere at the tree itself. Grim might just start his up back near the top.
Both of them are not only pretty close to one another, but both of them are also pretty much tied with their PBs here. So that's quite something. Or not even tied.
So
yeah, I was going to say not even tied.
2-second difference, but now Brynhold does have the extra health that he got from Spider. And something interesting that Brynhold does that I think is super interesting. Wow, I just said interesting twice. Good job, May. But something that Brynhold does is he makes a save anywhere, and he takes this all the way up through to the top near where Fastompus is. Because he likes having that extra save without wasting the energy.
Yeah, that's quite the decision. I mean, doing this movement by does make it a pretty tough, but he's used to it, he always does it, so I don't expect him to mess anything up. But of course that just changed the lead back to Grim, who is having pretty solid movement through here. Hopefully gets fast stoppers here. Let's see that shot.
Did take a little
good.
high, but he did take some damage on the spikes on the left, so can't.
No.
And it was high.
It was too high.
He's gonna take a save down at the bottom. and he's just gonna go for it at this point. But
Bryn, on the
that
other hand, got his
definitely
fast stop.
definitely puts Brynhold in the lead.
I didn't actually see Brynhold's shot there. GI me. So can't judge if that was as close as Grimm's as well, because Grimm's could have potentially hit. I think that, yeah, it looked pretty high, but it was in that range where it could have potentially still hit, I think. So sadly, get his fast stop this year. And it's going to put him just that little bit behind again.
That might also put Grim behind PB, which he did say he needed 2 PB in order to, or basically PB in order to beat Brynhold, so he's going to be a little behind heading into Sorrow.
Yeah, and Bryn gets the, gets his, gets his Sorrow Bash first try here. So Grim is certainly going to have to keep up with that pace. Doesn't do much. Oh, gets hit here, and almost to fly to the left to reset the birds and try again.
He did take some damage from the birds, though. If he gets hit again, he's going to die.
Come on, Grim, you can do this. He has shown that he can do this method pretty good. Yeah. Oh no!
Oh, he kills the bird by accident.
That was so unfortunate. No. That bird already took damage because of the setup before. I think it was a little bit too low. He should have waited just a bit longer, and then probably could have made it by the infamous corpse bash. But I'm not really sure.
I'm not certain either. Brynhold, having gotten charge jump, and is now doing another long save anywhere in order to set up for a terror break.
Yeah, while Grim is already going for his manual stop cast. We just saw one of them there.
Oh, that rocket jump is spooky. He just decides to go off the slime instead.
Also, that 4 HP Dorito Cave is pretty spooky, but Grim is pretty experienced there, and he's already through. Goes for this ghost door. And he will be executing his Terror Break pretty shortly, while Bryn is on his Sunstone now, so there's quite a difference now because of that failed Sorrow Bash. If Grim manages to play the way he can play, he will take this race. So Grim has to hope for some mess-ups there by Bryn, basically now. And even so, still has to play pretty well, which he has been doing so far.
Grim has to play nearly perfectly. Or, not nearly, Grim has to basically play perfectly and hope Brynhold gets a very large mistake going through Misty in order to even the hope of catching up. Brynhold is another player with really solid play and makes a safety save at the start too. So if he dies, he just goes back to the start of Misty and not back to Sunstone.
Yeah, that safety save. I'm thinking, do you know, Poogle, if Bryn is watching his opponent?
I do not know. Fair.
Yeah, me neither. But that decision would be something that would be a really good decision if he's watching the race, because he has quite a lead now, and being put back at Sunstone will basically pull Grim ahead here. But basically, when Bryn messes up any of this movement here, they will be pretty much tied because of that save from Misty now. So
no, he made another one. He made another safety save right after the first keystone. I want to say Bryn's watching.
Yeah, I'm going to say that too now, because 2 safety saves, he's certainly not treating it as a PB attempt anymore.
No, he's treating this as he doesn't want to make any mistakes that might possibly close this gap.
And that just goes to show what scary of an opponent Grim still is. Whoa, no!
Is...
Did take his safety save at Misty entry as well, but this is going to cost him another 15 seconds or so. And by the way that Britain has been playing here, he's probably going to save some more to lock in that progress again, once again.
It would not surprise me if he were to make a save both before and after the 4th keystone, just in case. These lasers are all insta-kill.
Grim also made a safety save now at his keystone.
Looks like he's at energy though.
he's pretty far behind now, so
He's not super behind.
yeah, no, he's not super bad, but I mean,
A couple of bad deaths to trying to go after the Yoka cycle could turn this around.
yeah, it sure can still be turned around, but honestly, the way that Bryn has been playing here,
I don't think he's gonna get the opportunity. With Brynhold playing how he has been, I'm not sure Grim's gonna have the chance to catch up.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Grim isn't playing bad, but he got some spaghetti that he certainly didn't hope for, and I again don't know if he's watching. I believe he told us.
Bashing the frog into the laser. Wow, Grim, that was mean.
The frog deserves it, though.
Well, that frog doesn't deserve it. That frog's done nothing wrong.
Nothing? Has it never killed you on a
That
great
one?
pace?
This is Misty. I don't have good paces when I hit Misty. My Misty's
Alright.
awful.
Okay, yeah, Misty can certainly be awful. I mean, Grim took that painful death there at the start of Misty, so doesn't have a great Misty for himself. I mean, everything since then has been pretty good for him. And he even does this rocket jump. He takes the hit, but because it's on 4 HP, it doesn't kill him. That again was a manual rocket jump on controller. Fairly impressive.
You know,
And it's
see if... Okay, he does get... well, not the quickest kill on any boss, but certainly a quick kill.
And a quicker kill than Bryn, for that matter. But yeah, saving 3 seconds on the mini-boss, it does get him a little closer to Bryn, but not as close as he would need to be right now. Bryn basically still has to mess up some of his movement here, and he's already through to Grenade. So that area is getting thinner with every second.
And I'm hearing from the truck that Grim does know it.
Oh, Grim is watching the stream.
Grim
yeah,
is
so-
watching the stream.
I mean, that's probably the reason why he does things like this grenade jump, these super fast strats. Oh, sadly doesn't get his air dash glide.
You know, Grimelios is indeed watching and knows that Bryn is ahead of him at this point. So... I think he's just hoping that he has to force the grenade jump out of Brynhold.
Yeah, we have seen that strategy in some other races where when you can get your opponent to have to do that final grenade jump, it can potentially make them soft lock, and that's somewhat the last hope there, you could say. Oh, come on, didn't get that cutscene. Let's just right over this cutscene. Gets the cutscene skip, but Bryn is already in Horror Fields. Or not yet, I think, but on his way to Horror Fields. Yeah, he skips this health here because he's already on 6 since he went for the spider cell right before Sorrow.
Yes, and we're just... oh, okay. Door warp time.
Oh boy, don't warp. I mean, we have quite an astonishing world record for worst door warp attempts by now. Probably nothing that Bryn can beat here.
23, to be exact.
And he has a pretty nice success rate on door warp, as we can see here.
First
And
try door warp.
First try door warp. Improving that average by quite a lot.
Oh, tournament average. I don't even want to know.
Oh, please don't average. But he started his final escape now, so I think Grim can't really force his grenade jump here, so basically he has to mess up this escape for Grim to still win. Going for some manual stop cancels again. And yeah, he's skipping that health because he has to skip every second that he can skip.
Grim did say he was going 5 health, so... we're gonna see where this goes. Brynhold coming into the Poison Swim, which is why we need the 5 health minimum. The Poison Swim goes expertly for him. think he only took 4 health, so he might even be able to get hit by the rocks once and still succeed, and
Yep.
he's just going to leave.
GG Bryn, he's just opting to lock in that win. He saw that Grim is just approaching his door warp now, so he just locked in that win. That's a pretty smart decision, to be honest. He only has to win this race, doesn't have to be B, and he still has a pretty sick pace for himself here. Grim, I think it was third try door warp,
I believe so.
so a very nice door warp by him still. Certainly can be a tough trick with tournament nerves and things like that.
So, since Grim only has 5 HP, he has to make sure that he does that swim extremely well, but controllers have a little bit better swimming, so that's good.
Yeah, and since he's watching the restream, he will know that he's lost the race.
But he's gonna finish out strong. Into the poison water he goes. Stomps down in, bashes off the first fish, bashes off the second fish, gets out with 1 health to spare.
Yeah, just doesn't need to get rocked here. And let's see if he goes for grenade jump. Yeah, he does. Once lock in a pretty good race time either way, even though he knows that he lost, and yeah, he's through. So I mean, that's a mid to high 33 pace, more high than mid, I think. Still a really nice time from Grim. If you're watching, I mean, if you're watching his PB and then you're watching this time, Grim has been performing pretty close to his PB, so it has been a pretty nice race for him. But Bryn also been very close to his PB. I mean, he skipped that final grenade jump and he's got a 32.52. So it would have been like, what, 20 seconds apart from his 32 PB? Bryn can just be a monster in his consistency.
And Grimelios' final time is going to be 33:41.
Yeah, I mean, that's really solid, as I mentioned before. But sadly, he lost this race. I mean, in a race you can't have two winners, but I mean, both of them were performing pretty close to their PB, so both of them had a good race for themselves.
They did a fantastic job, and it looks like we might be getting Brynhold in here for an interview. Let's see if we can't get him in here.
Can we?
I'm gonna find out.
All right. While we are waiting for Bryn to join us here on the interview, let's just have a look at that bracket again. Terra just won his last race, and so Bryn, with having won this race, will be facing Terra next. Grimelios is sadly out of the tournament now. It was a lower bracket match, so he doesn't get a second chance. The lower bracket basically is your second chance, so Grim is out of this tournament now, but he certainly performed pretty well. So should be pretty happy with that, I think.
Yes, and whoever wins between Terra and Brynhold will go and face Elo Jiminy in the ILO Division Finals. We are just making sure that Brynhold is able to be pulled in, and there he is. GG Brynhold. Congratulations on your win over Grimelios in the match. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It was a very nice run for me.
Yeah, it certainly was a really nice run. I mean, we did mention your PB is a flat 32 at this moment. That's correct, right?
Yes.
So having that 32.52 with not doing final grenade jump, that is pretty close to your PB. You have also been pretty close to your PB in another race before because you PB'd in the race. So, I mean, your consistency coming to the tournament is pretty amazing. at least for someone like me. So first question to you is, do you experience tournament nerves, and if so, are they getting to you, or I mean, you have been performing pretty well throughout this tournament, so really interested in that.
Yeah, I have plenty of nerves. My hands were cold most of this round. But I guess I also get more focused maybe. So I think that is why I have had such good races, maybe.
Yeah, for some people, pressure can be a driving force, but you were watching your opponent, right? Because I mean, you didn't do the final grenade jump.
Yeah, I pulled up the stream at Feather like I have done the last 3 races, I think. And after that I took it down again and looked at the climb tree and took it down, and then at the grenade tree I took it up again and had it up for the rest of the race. And I could see that Grim was far behind enough that I could just not do grenade jump.
Yeah, that was definitely a smart choice because, I mean, when there's no reason to go for the grenade jump, you couldn't PB, you couldn't improve your best race time because that is your PB.
Yes.
You just had to win, so no reason to go for the grenade jump there. Pretty smart decision. Yeah. Regarding your next match, have you been by any chance watching Terra's race today, or have you been preparing for your own race?
Had a really good race.
Yeah, exactly. Terra had a really good race, so
30, 20 something.
exactly. Pretty close to his PB, just as you did today. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel going into that match? Do you think that you can win? Will you be practicing for this race in particular?
I think I'm just gonna go with basically the same strats as I have now, and hope that it is enough. But he certainly have the higher chance of winning, I think.
Yeah, and as we see here in the round of 64, you actually faced Terra once. And then I think that was a very close race between you two. You probably remember better than I do.
Yeah, I think it was like 12 seconds between us or something.
Yeah, so there certainly is a chance for you to take the victory. But then again, Terra will probably practice again. We might be in for a pretty close race there. So before I'm talking too much, Pugel, do you still have some questions?
No, I think you got everything pretty nice, Sverek.
All right.
Now,
so
Brynhold, thank you for joining us. Congratulations on your victory. Good luck against Terra.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, who would you be more scared of, real fast? Terra or Illegimini, if you had to pick or choose who you would have wanted to face in this next match?
I think Illegimini is one of the most scary in the whole tournament. I don't even see a chance of winning against him, so yeah, he's more scary.
Alright, well, thank you. Best of luck on your next race.
Sorry, Terra.
Well, we're gonna wrap up here for now. There's gonna be an hour break, but at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, not Standard Time, there's gonna be Hydra versus Richard on Speed Gaming 2. The main Speed Gaming channel is gonna have a Link to the Past No Major Glitches tournament in about 15 minutes. We are done for now. I'm Pugel. I've been joining Sperek on this lovely commentary. Sperek, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it has been pretty fun commentating with you, Pugel.
And until... Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I just was going to say that you can relax a little bit now before the next race. And I was going to wish you a good night because I'm going to bed now. Pretty late.
Yeah, it's
pretty late
late
for me.
It's pretty late for you as well, Brynhold, so...
Yeah.
night, everybody who needs to go to bed. And for those who don't, stick around. We'll be back in an hour.
Bye.
Bye.
Damage as they head through. So, ooh, nice job. And wow, Yoko. Oh,
No,
my
oh no,
goodness.
Yoko. Oh my goodness. Please be careful.
He hasn't taken any like really bad deaths as result, but
Oh no.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Yeah, true shade. So we're gonna see what D2 decides to do. Nice safety save there, and wow, the value from the safety save.
The trick itself requires precisely positioning a frog and managing your XP, but because that can happen, because that froggy has a chair and it can stomp it right on your tiny little head.
Oh God, Milton, get out of there!
Holy crap, the recovery from that.
Like, it's deceptive. Ooh, deceptively difficult. Rufus, so
Holy
close.
crap, Rufus.
Oh.
Oh god.
Fix it.
And what is happening now?
I don't know.
Oh, Monkley's shot going through.
Oh, he's missed the double bash though. He's gonna go back up. Monkley's shots are facing the floor. I hope he does not hit that on the upper one. Jesus, broken into swamp.
Oh, Monkley getting hit by the shot.
Subtle that Terra did. Oh, missing that, but he's got the backup. That's okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Terra. Oh my gosh. Okay, try again. Just this time you can get one up one.
What you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament, and oh wow, I do not know how he survived.
Both runners getting that fifth.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied.
Go stomp the rocks. And oh,
Fluffy,
I
what
didn't know you could do that.
Oh,
You really just keep moving and skip that cutscene?
Oh god, Hori's in the air! Hello!
Oh no, oh Frankie. Frankie, please go away. Oh, that is so
no.
painful.
Oh, this is a party. Luckily, he does have a safety.
Yeah, mini boss not quite going according to plan. Melvin's gonna go with the stomp spam. Keep that frog away. Get out of here. Don't hit me with your chair. He says he gets through it okay, and we'll be just finishing up Misty.
The section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is
He's
the
spawned Crow!
Oh, he died! Death! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well.
What?
This is literally synced in the final escape, guys. Unbelievable.
They both stopped the thing together. Okay.
Each one of those grenades costs one. He's got one left. That's enough for 2 grenade jump attempts. If he keeps missing in that particular way, he's got one chance left.
One more.
And he gets it! The
First
clutch.
try, and well, not first try, but you know what? First try.
We'll call it first try.